I'm Sky, and today we're building a dark alley. Huge thanks to Phoenix for helping out on this one. He also picked the music, which is It's Raining Somewhere Else and The Place Where It Rained from Deltarune. I'm starting here by outlining the street. I wanted it to feel a little bit more cramped, so I moved the sides of the buildings closer to each other. I considered using these asphalt blocks from Blockers for the street, but I decided that I didn't like the color. They also looked a little bit flat, so I ended up going with these alkyl bricks from Architect's Palette with noise using their cracked and chiseled variants. Here, I'm starting to work on the different buildings. I've divided the wool marking the walls into different colors that match vaguely with the colors that I want the buildings to use. Each one of these buildings has a different palette, with one main accent color and a number of different gray colors. I focused more on sightlines in this build than I have in my other builds, with the high walls with mostly neutral colors helping to direct attention to the details I'll be adding. The color palette and overall feel of the build was inspired by the cyberpunk aesthetic, with the game Stray and the map Garden of Kutara from Celeste coming to mind. I don't often build in this style, so this was a fun exercise for me. To texture these buildings, I used a mix of the gradient brush with Bezier noise for the buildings on the south and the noise painter with Worley noise for the buildings on the north. I'm going to be using Onyx from Architect's Palette to block off sightlines in this build. I like using it for this because it's usually different enough from its surroundings to direct attention away from it. I could have used black concrete or any number of similar black blocks for this, but I prefer the texture of Onyx. Right about here, I realized that I did not give myself enough time to finish this build on my own, so I asked Phoenix TFC to help me out. This isn't against the rules because there are no rules. I do whatever I want. Yes, that was real TNT. I used it to add some holes to these buildings because I wanted them to be more random than if I had done them by hand. I think it turned out pretty good. Right now, I'm working on blocking off the view of the sky from the ground while Phoenix is working on building up the last building. I used several different blocks and styles to do this because I wanted this build to feel cobbled together by multiple people. This is also why I wasn't worried about the buildings having different palettes. The point is that they're all different from each other. I build with Axiom a lot more than Phoenix, so I had to help him out sometimes. Here I'm adding a gradient to this building for him. I'm adding some windows to the buildings to break up the plain walls, and Phoenix is working on a vending machine. Small details like that is where block display entities and mods like templates can really come in handy. This wall felt bare to me, so I used some red concrete to add some graffiti to it. I would have added more graffiti to this build, but I couldn't find too many good places to put it. Adding small details like this is what makes building interesting to me. I'm adding a small bridge connecting two doorways in this building, which shares no colors with the building it connects. I used some more TNT to make the alley feel more run down and to give me a place to put an element of nature. Here, I'm teaching Phoenix how to use block display entities, which are extremely useful for adding small details to things like a vending machine. I'm adding a slight gradient to the hull to make it feel more weathered. And now I'm adding some thick vines using willow wood and leaves from Nature Spirit. Here, I'm adding another bridge to take up more of the sight line. Though it's hard to see, the doorways this bridge connects are more run down than the ones I built before. These buildings are just facades, but I still expanded them to fill the front face of the trunk to make taking the screenshots that I wanted easier. We added some broken caution rope and signs at the entrance to the alley. Most of the signs I put down here were caution bees. I've already decided most of the elements that I wanted to add to this build, so now we're just going through any blank spaces and adding details to them. Phoenix is working on this window while I'm adding more lines of bunting in the background. Thanks to Phoenix again for helping out. As always, feel free to leave any questions, ideas, or anything else in the comments. See you tomorrow!